Alright guys, so this is kind of going to be a part two and going over everything, the rest of how I'm routing everything. And first of all, I just want to say this is probably the most complex setup that you will be using ever to run multiple modules aside. This is how I would I would say it's an optimized recording setup. Um, and also to keep the ability to jam to your phone tracks, to jam to backtracks, to record and get audio from the interface, but not having that affect your drum, your drum sound. So basically, that's everything that I have. I'll go over this how I'm running the modules here really quick, just as a review. So I'm just running stereo outs from each of these modules into this mixer. Um, I go over how to connect them and go to the PA in the other video. But just a review, I run both of them into two different tracks on this mixer on the floor. And that's kind of like just my recording mixer. So I have these levels set. Um, and that's just what goes. I run the main out in stereo. And those are 1/4 inch outs. Some mixers, depending on what mixer you have, might have an XLR output. And then you can just run the XLR cable straight in. But I have adapters which work fine, and that way I can run XLRs and daisy chain them all the way across the room to my interface. So that's what I have going in to the interface. So that's running stereo outs, XLRs, and then obviously I level them at the interface to record with. And this is just getting the drum sound because that's all I want when I record drums. Um, and then I run a control out from this mixer, so I'm getting the drum audio going to my little mixer behind the drum set. This is everything. This is like the in-ear hub for. That's why I have a little mixer here. But that way, whether I'm playing the backtracks, whether I'm recording, whether I'm running the phone tracks, if I want to record a video or record anything, I'm only getting the drum sound going into my tracks on the computer. Um, and that's how I like to do it because like if you record, you want to be able to have more control, like for post processing and everything like that. So I have the control out going into one track here, stereo, and this is just like a I don't know 5 track, but it's pretty much like a 3 track because it counts stereo as another track for some reason. So that's running into one track on this little mixer, and I have my phone running into this mixer. It's like an aux cable that goes into 2 RCA left and right, and that volume is just controlled by the phone, however loud you want it, and then I counter volume I set all these to match up with my phone volume. So that's that. And then I have a mono 1/4 inch coming out from the interface. So when I record to um, tracks, like when I'm actually recording like a song or something like that, I run just a mono out from the DAW, and that way you can have a monitoring while you're recording. So that's my recording volume that goes into another track, and I set that just however you like the mix. And then my first track is the backtrack volume. So I play the backtracks, and the drummers that in my band play to backtracks. So how that would be run is if you use your phone or an MP3 player or something, you run the right side to the PA, and then the left side goes right into your inner monitoring. So that would be right here, and I control the volume from there. Um, I might not use all of them at once, but this is basically just the hub, and then I plug my headphones into here, and I control all that right from behind the drum set. Real quick, if you guys are kind of confused or intimidated by backtracks, the simplest thing to make in the world, in my opinion, you don't need to go out and get that Roland SPDX whatever pad thing. I mean, that's cool and whatever, but I mean, the pros do it usually by backtracks, and the drummer's usually playing to a click track, so that's like a big thing. Don't be afraid of click track. It's kind of intimidating and it blow to your ego. Usually everyone feels like that, but it'll make you a better drummer and it'll make your band sound better. I'm just a big fan of backtracks. I personally um, would not want to go on stage without having a backtrack because it takes the hard job of making sure, like second guessing, you're second guessing timing when you're playing live, like am I speeding up or slowing down? That is done for. ClickTrack handles all that, and you can solely focus on your performance. And the band will sound better and more pro and tight. The tightness will just come naturally when you're playing on a steady tempo. But besides that, okay, so that's my setup. Yeah, and really quick, just how you make the backtracks is like in a DAW, when you record anything, you record it like normal, and then you just pan, you pan left what you want to hear, and you pan everything hard right what you want to go to the front of house. So you can just put synth on there. If you want it to come out of both, you put it in the center, and it's that simple. And I think that pretty much covers my entire setup. So if you have any questions about anything, just go ahead and ask me, and I'll try to explain it and help you out. Because if you're trying to record, this is the best way, I think, to get a clean recording. And it can be kind of confusing, but hopefully my terrible little drawing helps out. So, all right, thanks.